Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
I always credit Power Grid as being my gateway game. That was the game that got me into the hobby. But that's only part of the story because the first game I played that night was Oasis. It was Oasis and then Power Grid is how we spent that evening. And Oasis was something that was kind of eye-opening. I really liked Oasis. I went out and immediately got the game. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I played it quite a bit that time. You didn't have a lot of games. You kind of played the same games over and over and over again. And I liked Oasis. I mean, it was nothing compared to Power. Power Grid blew my mind. Oasis, I had a good time with. And as I got into the hobby, here I am, X amount of years later, 10 or whatever. Alan R. Moon designed this, Ticket to Ride. I hadn't played Ticket to Ride yet. Oasis and then Power Grid were the only two games I had played outside of like Hero Quest a few times when I was a kid. Not sure I ever played the rules correctly. Monopoly, Clue, Operation, stuff like that. Oasis was there. And this is like this bidding mechanism of the game. I had never seen anything like this and really haven't seen it since. It's very good. And I'm surprised you don't see it more often, how you're just kind of the first player is bidding, but he doesn't know how much to bid. And based on how many you bid, how many cards you get back, the fewer you bid, the more cards you get to restock your deck. Very interesting. Liked it quite a bit. And fast forward 10 years, the graphic design, blah, the components are okay. The game has aged. I don't really care for it anymore. I don't like games that are just about the scoring. Let me explain that. Everything feels kind of abstract. I'm not making any logical decisions. I'm just making scoring decisions. And I put those in the abstract category, and I don't enjoy them as much. And this is going to be one of those. I feel like time may have passed this game by. Maybe with some extra components or new upgraded components or some kind of expansion or some kind of love and care for the game may have a place for light gamers. Now, if you're looking for a cheap game and you're looking for something maybe on the bargain bin, it's a solid game that has this unique bidding thing that you're doing. This is it. Maybe I've outplayed this one. And maybe there's just so many games on my shelf, I got to get rid of something. But Oasis still just doesn't feel like it stands the test of time to me. It's definitely one I would tell you to try before you buy. Check this one out. It's called Oasis by Alan R. Moon. One I'll be purging, but I do that hesitating, thinking that maybe there was still something here that people would enjoy. Check out Oasis. Here is Oasis, which is a rather old Alan R. Moon board game that he made, Ticket to Ride. Kind of a really good cover here. I like the idea of it. It really plays into the game. When you open it up, you're going to find a rule book. We'll take a look at that in more detail, and I'll show you the board in a second. So what you're going to have here is the tiles that you'll be playing with. Now, these tiles that you have, you're going to have these big rectangular ones that are pretty nice. They're only one-sided because you need the other side to be hidden. You can have 4 different types. These are going to be what you're going to be using as the player markers so you know what order that you're going in. And these are rather thick and very nice, and the artwork on each one is different. They don't really have any gameplay, but they do look different. You're going to have these little squares you'll be playing on the board. A little bland, sure, I get that. Thickness is good, but this is from a different time period. You're going to have these little workers that, you don't really see this in games anymore, but they're nice and they're wooden. You're going to have some camels in your color that will come out. These are really cool, even for today's standard. These little camel meeples? I don't know. You're going to have a bunch of different colors. Now the cards that you're going to have, these are pretty thin cards. They're not going to rip in two, but yeah, they're a little thin for today's standards, and they're very bland. You kind of see what's going to be on them. So, there's not a lot of artwork. It matches the tiles that you're going to get. So if you take this card, you're going to get 2 of these. So it's very functional, but kind of cheapo looking. The board, pretty bland. You're going to have a scoring track that will go around it. It's not going to be straight. It's going to curve around. You're going to have these places that will match some of the tiles you'll be putting out, but it's fairly bland. It makes you go cross-eyed a little bit with these colors, but it looks like almost like photorealistic, like somebody printed this on it. I don't know. Not my style. Back in the day, this was fine, but it's not really going to hold up anymore today. So here's the rule book, Oasis. You're going to have a nice picture from the front of the box on the front and a little bit of a story going on here. Uber, I remember those. So over here you're going to have components. You're going to have a picture of all the components and a number. Fantastic, which was in every game. Have a little bit of setup up here, not too hard, and then it'll teach you how to play the game. Obviously giving you some pictures and different colored font, which is nice. And it'll take you through a whole gameplay, some placement rules about how you play tiles to the board. And you'll see that here will be the game end and a little bit about how to score with some examples with pictures, which is great. And you'll finish up scoring here and the credits at the back. So the rulebook's actually pretty good. The game isn't that difficult. It's aged a little bit, but the rulebook does not get in your way. Very, very simple to understand. You can probably read this in 10 minutes and be up and ready to play. Maybe refer to it sometimes about the placement rules, but you get it down pretty quick. So this one I'm going to give 2 thumbs up to. Each player will take 4 control markers in their color and all of the camels provided in the game, and you'll be utilizing really just these 2 pieces during the game when you're playing. You will then shuffle up the round markers, hand these out to everybody, and this will tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which one you're going to. The pictures are different, which are nice, but they don't hold any individual powers other than the fact that you're going first. You'll take the deck of cards, you'll deal out 5 to each player. You do not look at your cards, you just create a stack, you put this down in front of you, and you're ready to play. So the card play is going to be the main way that you're going to get cards, and by what cards you get, you will do things to the board. So whoever has the first player will go first, and he can offer up to 3 cards. So in this case, he could offer this double yellow, stay there and stop. But let's say he wanted to do 2 cards. He's going to offer 2 yellow and a gray. Then he would take 1 card from the deck and put it underneath there. So if you were to play 1, you would draw 2 cards. If you play 2, you draw 1. If you were to play 3 cards, you would draw 0. So let's say 2 wants somebody to pick him, wants him to pick his set. He really wants this guy to pick his set. So he's going to throw 3 cards out and draw none. And then this guy's like, you know what? I can't do any better than that. So I'm just going to draw 1 because he wants to put cards on the bottom of his deck. So he'll take 2 cards and put them on the bottom. And that's how you do this. Now what's going to happen at this point is the first player will pick whatever he wants. He cannot pick his own. So he said, do I want these 2 red scoring? And he may need this. This may be the card he is waiting for, and the multiple cards won't be as good. But let's just say he takes this. He takes 3 cards. I'll show you what he's going to do with these cards in just a moment. And then this guy would get the 1. So he's going to go first next time, but he'll lay that down. And number 2 will go next. He can pick either. Let's say he wants to get this one because he really wants this set. Then number 2 will go here. And then number 3 will be left with just this set. So that's kind of how that will go down. So next round, when you pop these back up, this guy will go first, this guy will go second, this guy will go third, depending on what was offered and what they decided to take. So if you remember, the first player took these cards right here. So let's say he had these 2 candles, and he is red, so we put these on the board. The camels can only be placed on like these, I guess it looks like dirt, so you can place these anywhere that you want. So let's just say he puts them there, and that's just a random place that I put. So then he has these 2 yellow scoring tiles, so he'll set these aside in his scoring area, face down so people can't see what it is, and I'll come back to these later. And his third card, he had these 2 yellows, which is why he was enticing to take that yellow scoring. And you can pick anywhere on the board, but he's going to put it right here. And the reason why he's going to put it right here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is also a yellow space. So that gives him 3 yellow spaces. He'll put a control marker on here, and now he knows he has that. Now, red's the only one that can put yellow beside that. If somebody else wanted to build a yellow, they could put it diagonal, but they couldn't add it on to his. So he's kind of got that, but now somebody might want to block him off. If somebody wants to come in and put a green next to it, that's fine. And you will do that to try to block him off into that space, and I'll show you why when we get to scoring. The second player took just the 2 red scoring tiles. So, very easily, he'll take 2 of the red scoring, put them face down in his area, and his turn will be over. Now, you would activate these actions when you actually take the cards. I'm just trying to show you how it goes. This guy got a gray, and let's say he wants to put it here. He could put it down here. I mean, you probably, when you start out, if it's not to block somebody, you probably want to get the bonus spot for purposes of scoring. And let's say he is blue, so he'll put that out. And then he got the 2 yellow also, which he'll go put on the board. Once again, he can't put it next to his, so maybe he'll go over here and get the bonus spot here. Now, you only have 4 control markers. These control markers don't have to be the 4 different colors. You could definitely have 4 different greens going around the board if you so wanted to. All the cards drawn and played go into a discard pile, and then you would restart over based on picking more cards. The game is going to end when the last tile of any of the 3 types is placed on the board, the stone, the plains, or the Oasis, or a player takes and offers an unlimited player a tile. The first thing you do is score your camels, and you're only going to score for your largest contiguous area. So blue will score 4 here. Red has 2 here and 3. The 2 doesn't matter. They were cut off. They're not attaching to this. They would only score the 3. Now, if they happen to be up here, then he would score 5. And the way the camels are going to score is you're going to multiply by the camel scoring. So for each one of these, you're going to multiply it. So if the blue had 1, he would get 4 points. And if red had 1, he would get 5 points. Let's split these up again. If red had 1, he would only score the largest one, so he would get 3 points. Now, if you had 2, just to drive the point home, blue had 2, let's say, he would score 8 points. 2 times 4 is 8. But let's say the red player has 3 of these. He wouldn't score this because 3 is bigger than 2. 3 times 3 is 9. If these just happen to be up here and he had 5, he would score 3 times 5 is 15, and so on and so on. To score yellow, red has 3, 1, 2, 3 of these under control. He'd multiply by the number of scores. If he had 1, he would score 3 points, and if he had 2, he would have 6. Control 2 areas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and he had 2 scoring markers. Even though these 2 are not connected, he would score 14 points. So it's all of your yellows, all of your grays, and all of your greens. So you would score all 3 of those sections. Who should buy this game? If you're looking for a cheaper, easy to play, intro level game, this could be it. If you're looking for something with a unique mechanism, this is definitely it. That bidding system that's included in this game is just wonderful. Now, if it's a non-gamer, I think there might be a little bit too much here for them to pick up. It might take them a couple rounds, but they can definitely, over time, pick this game up. It's not that difficult. There's only really 4 scoring mechanisms going on in this game, and 3 of them act exactly the same, just in different colors. So I think there's an opportunity to play this with families. I think there's an opportunity to play this with light gamers or even non-gamers. Just have a little patience with them. But for us, I think I've played this one out. It doesn't look as good. The theme isn't there for me, so it's going to be a Purge. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel. Lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing games.